Let's go. Welcome in. Welcome in. I'm gonna get a giveaway going. It's gonna be a Christmas givey, some sort of Christmas note. I don't happen to have any in front of me to show you. Fan of Disney, how you doing? I'm gonna mod you up. I need a mod to help me keep track of the questions. Vehicle is on his way, I think. I'm doing pretty good. Having some fun. I stayed up way too late last night. How's it going, Big Dusty? Want to make sure all the packages got out this morning, which they did, so I'm happy. Tonight's going to be a little different in the fact that we're going to do from 7:30 to 9:30 the currency talk, and then after that, I think Vehicle's planning on doing a show. I'm going to go to bed because I stayed up way too late last night. Um, speaking of which, speaking of shows, bookmark my Friday show. I called it Fezzy's Fire Sale Friday this time. I've got a bunch of stuff that I need to move, and I'm going to be very generous with the people who make me offers on some of my prices. I'm going to, mark some stuff down. We're getting ready for winter fun. I definitely want to, take some money and get some good stuff to bring back. Probably going to do a show from Winter Fun. Me, Jaycock, Vehicle, Denmark, a couple others. So definitely prep up for that. Let's see here. Hopefully, Vehicle shows up soon. Get this party started. But get in that givey. Get in that givey. Let me show you Christmas notes I got, and those will hopefully go out tomorrow. I'm gonna try to package them tonight before I go to bed, but I got a couple of different kinds. So I got one of these, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and I got some Saint Nick's. I'm just gonna grab them off my pile when I package them and throw them in there. Um, got some other cool ones too. Yeah, right. So, nah, vehicles usually a little fashionably late, but I'll give them a couple of minutes. In the meantime, though, I mean, we can get started. You know, what do you guys want to talk about tonight? I mean, is there any? Nice, yeah, those purple books are awesome, Scott. Those that's definitely a good starter book for anyone. 25 pennies. I have an opinion on those. Not a popular one because I'm not. For me, I'm not a big. I don't know. How can you tell if an obsolete is counterfeit? Ooh, that is a good question. Biggest way. Let me find one. I don't have a counterfeit one, but I do have some obsoletes sitting here, so I just need one as an example. And I'll show you kind of what I do with some of my stuff. Like, here's a good one. Here's a Mississippi 10. So one of the things I hear is that modern paper tends to fluoresce. Now I need to find my, where is it? I need to find my UV light. So modern paper tends to fluoresce. Old paper does not. I guess it'd be better if I take it out of the holder. So if you ever get one of these, well, it helps. I mean, you don't need to get a black light, but black lights are good at detecting counterfeit notes. Like nothing on a actual obsolete should holy smokes, there he goes. I'm gonna get him going. And Easter Bunny Joe, I will answer that question. Let me get him into co-host mode. Confirm.
Holy smokes.
There he is.
Hope everybody's doing
We've already
well
got a couple
today.
questions, vehicle.
They got some questions.
Yeah,
Let's
how do you
go.
tell? So the first one is, how do you tell an obsolete note is counterfeit? I started off by saying, I use a black light. Modern paper tends to fluoresce while old paper does not. Same with the ink. Some of the inks will fluoresce. Also, you got to
Well,
look close at the printing. If the printing looks off or is Oh, there's a word for it.
Well,
Like,
so on Confederate notes, when they get the bug eyes, they kind of have a bug eye look when they're counterfeits, but
yeah,
here's the issue, you guys, and I'm going to tell you what the issue is. The only people that can really tell you if it's a counterfeit or not a counterfeit is a grading service, right? But
right.
with that being said, okay, with that being said, because they have a special book that tells them exactly what paper, exactly uh what to look for as far as counterfeits, the one with the counterfeits that were made for, especially on Confederate notes back in the day. Here's a contemporary counterfeit that this means it was made during the time of the Confederacy, right? What do you got there?
We both
So
have a contemporary up.
so and to be honest with you guys, man, it's really hard unless you have an actual note in front of your hands. It's really hard to tell the difference. It is really hard to tell the difference. Um, for this one here, this one doesn't have any iron ink that's spilling through, so that would kind of tell me, when they have the iron ink. Let me see if I can find one with some iron ink spilling through.
So here's a good one too. I mean, so this I know is a counterfeit. You can kind of tell that the paper fluoresces just a tad. Basically, this is white paper that has been printed and then washed in tea.
To make it
So
look old.
yeah, so that's why I got a black light. I got a black light for other reasons too. I mean, there are certain things that have counterfeiting measures on it that you can use the black light. I showed them on some of the gold backs. They have that now. So a cheap
Yeah,
black light will work you wonders.
but I mean, at the end of the day, um, as far as us, we try to use our experience and expertise to make sure that we're trying not to sell you something that we believe that may be counterfeit or maybe contemporary counterfeit, and then we're selling it as a regular obsolete, right? um After you see hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of obsolete notes, you kind of have an eye of what you're looking for. But I'll tell you guys, like on the uncirculated obsoletes, kind of like this one here, on the uncirculated obsoletes, you really don't know, man, because it is so tough to for one to buy them cheap enough where you can have a graded one and you have a regular one,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
But I've witnessed them holder up, notes that are counterfeits. I've seen them holder up notes that weren't counterfeits, and you know uh they called them oh my goodness, there's a spurious, or they called them they just wouldn't grade them because they weren't sure, right?
Yeah.
So that's one of the things where, I mean, getting into something like this is just as risky as buying a Morgan silver dollar off of eBay, right? So you know
So I
you
will.
you go on
Yeah.
more you go
It's
on
funny you. Sorry, I keep interrupting you. It's
yeah,
funny
you
you
go
bring
you
that
go
up though. Like especially with Morgans, like there is a ping test you can do with silver to figure that out whether or not it's counterfeit pretty quick, and it's relatively inexpensive. All you need is your phone and a little hammer and ping it, and you can definitely tell with the obsoletes. It's a lot of it has to do with paper feel too. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but most of the paper made is like very thin, dang near brittle. I mean, it has a certain feel to it. I mean, you can get under a microscope and look at the fibers. Modern paper is totally different from old paper.
Yeah.
I mean, there are
Yeah, that's
definitely
very
ways
true.
you
The
can
way
do
they
it.
made paper back in the day is a little different for sure. But then again, you know, you can get an obsolete. You can get an obsolete that was uh signed and dated, but the and it'd be like a it's not a remainder anymore. But go put her back.
But she's so cute.
Hang on, you guys.
Please. Fine.
Oh, the reason he asked is because he's seen a $3 Tallahassee with a backplate and one without. So, I mean, back in the day, sometimes they do it with backplates, sometimes they do it without. Oh, here's another good tool too. If you want to, I've shown this before.
It's gonna be done.
I mean, you can get in there and kind of look at the fibers. And I know it's not doing it justice on the screen, but this will give you an opportunity, compare it to a modern note versus well, here, we'll take the one I had. And I'm going to get to your world question. I have it up in front of me, Easter Bunny Joe, if you're still in here. We will get to that question. Give us just a minute. But like,
So as far as Tallahassee Bank, the Tallahassee Railroad ones, is that what we're talking about?
yeah,
Well, as far as that goes, the Tallahassee Railroad Bank, if that's what we're talking about, there's definitely some sheets out there that are reprints, okay? And I would say, unless you knew it or not, you like it is up in the air whether it's a reprint or it's not a reprint. They've did such a good job reprinting them. So
right.
um I would suggest, if you're gonna buy, like, especially Tallahassee Railroad uh company banknotes, right? Whether it's a one denomination or a $3 denomination, you buy it graded, you guys. If that is an issue with you guys, eh, I would buy it graded, because me and Fezzy, I don't care like how much of an expert we are, we're not going to be able to look at that note without having expertise on it, without like grading expertise in a million books that PMG has, to be able to tell you, okay, well, it's a reprint or it's not a reprint, because they look exactly the same.
Right. Easter Bunny Joe had another really good question, and this is right up your alley. Which world notes do you think are historically important but currently mispriced? And what was that? Hold on. Cowboy, hey man, no problem. We try our best. Sometimes we have the answer. Sometimes we can give you a steer you in the right direction.
I would say, if you're concerned about it, buy it graded. Buy
Yeah,
it where it's already graded. But understand that the last Tallahassee Railroad Bank that I sold that was graded sold for $700. I think it was a $1 denomination, so it was the most common denomination. And it was a top pop with PCGS. Okay, there's only a handful graded out there, anyways. But that being said, if you get into the $2 denomination and the $3 denomination, they're going to be like a lot more money, you guys, a lot more money. Um, but if you get the obsolete book, you guys, the old obsolete book that was printed by that was authored and printed. What is that fella's name? Hang on just a second, guys. Hang on just a second. Uh, by Don Kelly, obsolete. In the actual book, it will tell you the different obsoletes that are out there that actually have, like, oh my goodness, that have been known to have counterfeits out there, or have been known to have really, really good reprints out there, right?
Well, and a lot of times too, you can find out with the numbers. I know that they sometimes with counterfeit, some of these numbers are, you know,
Exactly.
replicated, and they have a list of them. So there are definitely online resources you can go to too if you're really concerned. Yeah, more commonly replaced. Here, doctor, I'm going to mod you up too, just in case we. It's nice to have some moderators in case we missed the question. Um, but again, someone asked about world notes. Which ones do you? And like I said, vehicle. I think this is up your alley. Which world notes do you think are basically missed you too, undervalued and historically important?
Well, here's the deal, you guys. Any note that's out there that is more than 20 years old, I don't care if it's a American note, or if it's a world note, it shouldn't exist. Let's just really be very, very direct about that. How long should paper money exist, Fezzy?
What is it, like 5 years at the most? I mean, it's not long.
But
I think the $1
yeah,
is like 18 months.
so the as the paper money ages, okay, the probability that somebody saved it and saved it from destruction, because if you find a world note that is from the 1940s, especially if it's from like a country that doesn't exist anymore, none of that paper money should exist. You
Right.
know, that's just the honest to God truth. But I understand, like there's a lot of world notes out there. What do you collect? You just kind of, I've always collect what you like.
Yep.
Collect what you like, because you're not going to feel bad about the purchase later on, right? Um, and a lot of people are also getting into stacking the uh the 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 notes as well. And what I mean by that is they're just buying the world notes up, or they're buying the silver certificates and $2 red seals up at a price where they feel like they're comfortable at, and they're just stacking it. They're putting it um they're putting it in their safe, and they're stacking it just like they're stacking silver, because you know historically paper money only goes up, it doesn't go down. you
Yeah.
know Very rarely do you ever see paper money go down in value.
And if it does, it's a blip on the radar. I mean, we
Right.
have
Right.
shown in the value in the back of the book year over year where sometimes it'll be like, 1500 drop to 13, but then go up to 18. I mean, it's like a stock, right? The stocks are going to go up and down. It's no different than the notes. Sometimes notes are hot, sometimes they run cold, but they always sell. And
I mean, it's
again,
a it's an investment opportunity. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So, like, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if it's gold, if it's silver, if it's notes, if it's art, if
yeah,
it's a Disney collectible. They all have value, right?
right.
And,
Well, that's a
and
good
what
point.
is somebody willing to buy it for?
I mean, these technically have no monetary. Well, I take that back. This is worth $10 at a Disney store, but they don't make them anymore. So people will buy them because it has Disney on it, and Disney's a very popular character. And like these too. Like, so this Bank of Cape Fear, they're not making these anymore, and I'm sure some of these are, slowly getting destroyed over time. They're either being, mounted or ruined. So these are finite.
Somebody gets a hold of grandpa's collection and says, "What is this?" and they throw it away.
Yeah,
So that stuff happens too, you guys. Or they take it to their local coin dealer, and the coin dealer tells them, "Well, that's because they're a silver guy or they're a gold guy." And
yeah,
they say that's worth $5 or $10, and they're like, "Oh, well, I can let the kids play with this." You know what I mean? So, like, the stuff gets
yep,
destroyed over time. Whether it's there's people, and even graded notes. You can't really trust the number of graded notes because people cut them out, and they resubmit them with the other grading services, and that note is still graded with PMG or wherever it was cut out of. So it still exists
What?
on two different like grading services.
And still, that
Right?
it's very illegal. It's not
it's not-
okay. It's not okay.
It's not okay. That's for sure. Because we don't cut notes out of holders, do we?
That is not okay.
It's not okay. That's it.
Yeah.
Never said that.
JP had a question.
Dr.
How
Drew.
do you place a premium on a note that's listed as rare in the book?
You look for auction comps.
Yeah, I was going to say track and price.
Auction comps. Track and price
What's up,
will give you a
Steve?
good idea of what it should be worth. And understand, like, rare notes, like, if a dealer says no, I'm not budging off the price. If it's rare, it's rare, you guys. I mean, it's what it is, and he knows that it's only going to come up every so often. It's like that 1934 B $10 star note I have right now. It's extremely rare. It's extremely rare. There's only 44 that exist. So that's less than one person per state in the United States will be able to own a 1934 B star note, and it's a key star note for any star note series.
Right. I mean, here's another good example. This is the Phoenix National out of Lexington. This is one of 5 with this back known.
Wait.
It's the only one graded by PCGS, and it's only one of 11 from 1882. So, yeah, it's obviously it's going to carry, especially since it's graded. That was part of I had this note graded. I bought this note, so this will tie into the counterfeit thing. So I bought this note for a pretty penny, and I'm like, and I have another counterfeit story I'll add to that. And I'm like, man, I really want to verify that this is legit, because I mean, I paid a lot of money for it. So I sent it off to grading, and it came back as a fine 12. I had 3 notes that I bought from a dealer friend of mine, and he was honest with me. He said, I think these 3 notes might be counterfeit, but I'm not 100% sure. I ran them through the battery of tests that I showed you guys, sent them off to PCGS, and just got a notification from them basically that my order's prepping, and it says CFT on there, which I'm assuming means counterfeit. All 3 of the notes I bought from them. I didn't pay that much for them, and it was worth the risk to me. Now, I'm hoping that they come back as contemporary counterfeits, because if they do, they still have value. But I know they're not modern, so I'm hoping they grade them as contemporary. But now I'm on the waiting game for it. But sometimes you take a chance, and I mean, I've been burned too with the counterfeiting. Yeah.
But I think as far as counterfeiting goes, you guys, if counterfeiting is an issue to you, and you're not willing to, because that's when you guys pay a premium on a graded note, what you're paying for is, okay, so let's
Is the
grab this note
verification.
this
Yeah.
note this note here, right? So the 1861, which was heavily counterfeited, it was heavily counterfeited in the times of the Civil War, because us Northerners, would like counterfeit your guys' notes because we're trying to destroy your economy, right? So us Yankees, I'm not a real. Well, that's just it, right? So you just we thought Dr. Drew was a real doctor for a long time, and come to find out, he was a fraud. He was a fraud, you guys. He was a
He
fraud.
plays a doctor on TV.
Yeah.
But ballerina with a
I was a
travel. Oh my
ballerina with the
goodness.
traveling troupe. But so I've had these in contemporary counterfeit holders. But I'll be honest with you, you can barely tell the difference, right? And what you're paying for when you buy a graded note, because this note raw is probably a couple $100, right? Does that make sense? probably a $200 note if it's raw. But when they're graded, you're paying because PMG is saying this note is authentic, and we are going to say that it's a choice extremely fine EPQ, which is exceptional paper quality, which is very rare. So that's why you pay a premium on graded notes. Okay, that is why you pay a premium on graded notes, because somebody is saying, look, this is authentic, we're going to put our business behind it, that it's authentic,
Yep.
and we're going to put our reputation online, and it's authentic. Now, that being said right there, you guys, if you ever buy something from me or you buy something from Fezzy, okay, you buy something from me or you buy something from Fezzy, I will personally guarantee it. Okay.
Yep.
I will. That's me myself. So if you buy it from Fezzy and Fezzy doesn't have the money to guarantee it, I will personally guarantee that I'll take care of it, right? Because I trust Fezzy's eyes, right? I trust Fezzy's eyes. Now, don't get me wrong, I'll be like, Fezzy, dude, like, I need payments, bro. I need payments.
Yeah.
But Fezzy has enough money to be like, okay, well, if he sells you a note for $1,000 and it comes back counterfeit, he has enough money just to be like, okay, well, here's your $1,000 back. Send me my note back. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
No,
You're
I
in
mean,
very good
I've
hands.
I've told the story. Yeah, you're definitely in good hands. No, I've told the story. I've accidentally sold a counterfeit silver coin, and the guy pointed it out to me. I said, "Dude, my bad. Are you guys? Do you want a refund? Do you want me to send you a different coin? I don't have that exact coin, and I'll send you a label in the mailer, and you can send me the coin back because I wanted to test it. I wanted to make sure." Sure enough, it was as fake as could be, and I didn't question the guy. I said, "Dude, what do you want?" No different here. If something you guys say, "Hey man, this is counterfeit," I'd be the same way. Yeah, not a problem. I'd be like, "Yeah, guys, just send it back to me. I'll send you a label. I can either replace or give you your money back, but I'll definitely take the note and I'll figure out where I got it from, and I'll make sure to take care of it on my end." Steve, we are yeah, we wouldn't be in business if we weren't. I'm telling you. Steve, I think Vehicle's going to run a show at 9:30. He might have some radar stars.
Dude, I
But
haven't been able to find a radar star, dude. That's
yeah,
tough.
yeah, I've had that happen to me once too, Dr. Drew. Not so much the fake gold, but the fake silver. I've had that happen. Actually, and the person that sold it to me caught it right away and made up for it before I even knew it was fake. So I kudos to them. Pappy Slappy, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, I think there was another question back there. Let me look back. Is counterfeiting more prevalent in the obsoletes and pre 1920s? I
I would
cannot
say
answer. Oh, good, you can.
I would say you're more apt to find something that's counterfeit from the 1800s to the 1870s. Pretty much everything from 1870 on forward, you're not gonna find counterfeits, or the counterfeits that you find are gonna be
Yeah,
very very distinguishable, right? Now, because we've never held like these obsolete notes, and we've never spent these obsolete notes like actually in real life. When we come across a note, if it looks different, I don't know about Fezzy, but if it looks different than what my regular obsolete notes look like, then I set them aside. Now, that being said, you know, is there things that pass that could be counterfeit? I would say it would probably be very rare if it does. But I have, you know, I have checklists that I make for myself when I'm buying things or when I'm prepping them to sell, that I say, okay, well, this one I'm not sure about, so I'm not going to sell it until I get either some grading or somebody else telling me that that's real. Now, for the most part, if I suspect something is counterfeit, I'm gonna probably just get it graded to make sure before I sell it, especially if it's valuable, because I don't want any issues, So like I
Right.
said, I guarantee everything that I sell. And and,
Yep.
and
Same.
furthermore, I will guarantee everything that Fezzy sells too.
Yeah. So for the person about the backs too, I want to show you this. So here you have three state of Arkansas notes, right? All of them are tens. But here's the kicker. So here's the back of one. Here's the back of the other. Has that Arkansas State Treasury warrant, but the other one is blank. They're all three legit, but one of them is made later than the other. It's number 385. This one's number 73. This one's number 144. But sometimes that's why I said earlier. Sometimes they don't print on the back.
I mean,
So
color ink was very expensive back then,
yeah,
So the reason you don't get back prints on a lot of obsolete notes is it's too freaking expensive to have a back plate on it.
yeah,
And
and
and they were like the Federal Reserve, you guys. They're printing money as fast as they can because they're trying to win the war against the North. They're trying to
hmm
win the war against the North. And then so you end up with they're printing money, and then you got the North that's like, fuck these guys, we're gonna print their money too, and we're gonna drop it off in the South, and we're gonna circulate it. And they had really good counterfeiters in the North,
yeah.
so
So Michael had a question, but say someone sells you a legal tender 28.5 that they know is bogus, it'd actually be criminal still, right? Sure would.
yeah,
That's a criminal
if
offense.
they know it's counterfeit, you guys, if they know that it's counterfeit, they frauded you. If
Yep.
they know. Now, if they didn't know, now that throws into question. Now, if they didn't know, you know, it's one of those things where you're like, okay, well, I feel like he knew what he was doing, and I feel like he frauded me.
Yeah.
That's illegal. You know you can't fraud people and for one, expect to stay in business.
Yeah. Do we have a lot of them? I guess it's your definition of a lot. I got a few. Um, no, so here's another point I want to make too. The biggest thing, honestly, is if the price is too good to be true, then I would steer clear. So yeah, Secret Service. Yeah,
Yeah.
basically on some of these, like if this someone tried to sell
If
this
it
to me
if
for a
it's
hundred
legal
bucks,
tender, if it's
right?
US issued notes, yeah, you're right. It falls under the Secret Service. But if if it's an obsolete note or a Confederate note or something like that, it doesn't fall under anything. It's just a collectible, right?
Hmm.
It's just like a world note. You'd have to, take it up with the country that it was
Yeah, civil.
counterfeited in. Yeah, it's civil. But it's if somebody knowingly sells you something that is counterfeit, that is an American note, is fraud. And it's punishable by law.
Yep. Oh, and it was funny. I mean, look what they used to put on the back to counterfeit his death. They didn't f around back in the day. Yeah, you got
Exactly.
that too. Whatnot will refund
And
you.
whatnot will refund you like my thing is I want you guys to be able to come to me and say, hey, I got this graded and it came back counterfeit. What can you do for me? And I want to make it right, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, I would rather, whatnot stays out of it. But if you feel better telling whatnot, that's absolutely fine. Tell whatnot. But I would like to be a man and be able to make it right with you, right?
Right. No, and ultimately, think about it. If you got a counterfeit from someone and you thought that they knew that it was counterfeit, are you going to do business with them again? I mean, we're in this business to, provide for our families. We're not into it to screw people over. And what I mean by we is the collective we, as in any seller is not in the business to screw their customers over. I mean, you're not going to be in business for very long on this platform. So that's why, again, we both guarantee it, and we're both saying we're going to make it right. If it's bad, hey, because I know how I'd feel if I got a note and I was all excited to get it, and it turned out it was bogus. I'd be pissed.
I would be too.
So, and trust me, if it by chance happened to me and I sold something unknowingly that was counterfeit, I would be pissed that I bought it from someone and they almost ruined my reputation. So, I would be contacting that person. Oh hell yeah, there are worse.
Yeah. So eBay, you have to go through a whole freaking process, to in order to get your money back. You know what I mean? But as far as whatnot has a buyer guarantee that if you buy something on whatnot that is counterfeit or that is not real and it was presented as not, it was presented as authentic, then you're going to get your money back.
Yep. Oh no. I hate it when that happens too, Big Dusty. Did I miss any questions? I'm gonna go back and look real quick. Oh, Long Dong Currency's got a bulk load of dong in. Good for them. I don't think we've missed any. Okay. Hmm. I'm looking around. Oh, so good questions so far. Any other good questions? I mean, we can keep talking about counterfeits.
I,
We
I
can go to
think I
something
think we need to
else.
talk about I think we need to talk about Big Dusty's issue. USPS misdelivered my
Oh yeah.
packages today. Um, that's a major issue if they put that it was delivered into your mailbox. That's a major issue, because whatnot is gonna they're gonna say that it was delivered. Yeah, that's a major issue, Big Dusty. You gotta stay on top of your local USPS to make sure they make it right, because it's gonna be a big bummer, dude. If they marked it as delivered, yeah, if they marked it as delivered, they put it in somebody else's mailbox. I would check with your neighbors. Hopefully
Yeah.
you got some neighbors that are trustworthy, but I would check at the front door, inside the front door. I would check at the back door. I would check around your property, make sure it didn't blow away. I don't know, but like,
Yeah, go to your local post office, talk to the postmaster at your local post office. They're usually pretty good about, I think they have some sort of, I want to say they have some sort of tracking to a point. Um,
well, I'm hoping that what they did is they took a picture when they delivered it, because
yeah, I'm
that's
not
going to
sure
be
they do
about
that, but
yeah, and that's the issue. Yeah, that's a big issue, Big Dusty. Because if it never gets delivered, guess what happens, you guys? Whatnot issues a refund. Okay. But if it says it was delivered, because they have so many people on whatnot that are fraudulently saying, "Hey, it says it was delivered, but it I never got it." And then whatnot says, "Okay, well, what do we do here? Do we take the risk and issue them a refund, or do we like what do we do?" And because once the USPS says it's delivered, then the USPS, like whatnot, can't file a claim with USPS to get their money back. You know, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I would suggest any of you guys that are getting a lot of valuables through the mail, get a PO box. You know, because it leaves it right in their hands. So whoever touches that package last, especially if it's going into a PO box, they can figure out where it's at. Yeah, I'm hoping so, Big Dusty. But
Yeah.
I would not wait on uh letting whatnot know what happened. You know, at least let them know, look, this is what's going on, and these are the packages that were involved, and they were apparently dropped in the wrong mailbox, and I'm working with my local USPS to figure out if it's if they still have it, maybe, or I don't know, man. That that would make me really freak out on the postal driver, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would really
Well,
make me freak out on them.
I mean, and honestly, we're at that time of year too where they have so many packages because of Christmas that they have new drivers on routes to help out old drivers who know the route well. Um, I mean, hopefully it'll turn up. But like Vehicle said, I'd be on it. I'd be going to the post office. I'd be talking to the postmaster. I'd be like, hey, says it was
Don't
delivered. I didn't get it. What can we do?
Yeah, don't sleep on it.
Yeah.
Definitely do not sleep on that. You're gonna wanna, be proactive and you know,
Yes.
uh
Timbri is
yes.
correct. That's what I was thinking. When it comes to Disney dollars, why does the barcode make it more valuable?
It doesn't always make it more valuable.
I think it depends
What
on the.
what he's talking about is these.
Yeah.
So like some of these stitch notes, they were issued with a barcode on the back, right? This one in particular wasn't, but let me see if I can find one that was. Give me a second. Why? And there is some that are more rare with the barcode, but I think that's mostly going to be the oh the $1 denoms. If I'm not mistaken, the $1 denoms.
Yeah, the Dumbo has one with and one without.
Yeah.
So I think they put the barcodes on like in the middle of a printing. That's part of the reason why they started using barcodes at one point. And it was later in the run. It was like near the end, if I remember right. I could be wrong though. Yeah, this time of year is always fun with the post office. No, and I got to admit, I'm blessed. I live in a small town. My small town, oh my God, my our postal people are awesome to us. I mean, they uh they've been known to make it right really quick. So
Here's a set. So this
yeah,
this one
so,
actually has a $10,
yeah.
right?
There you go.
Which
Fan of Disney knows.
in this particular case, the one with the barcode is less money than one without a barcode. How about that? So this one should be about $290 retail. That one's like $220 retail, and I believe they're both the same grade. Let me double check. Come on.
And if I remember right, Dumbos are inverted.
Yeah.
Dumbos with the barcode are more than without.
Yeah.
Leroy
So
Jenkins. Oh, fun with currency. These are good questions. Keep them coming. Here, let me run a giveaway. I'm gonna run another giveaway. Another giveaway.
so speaking of a fun show, um uh I I got both of those packages in today with the cards in it, and then I got um I took it down all my sheets that I had hanging all over the place,
Mm-hmm.
and I rolled them up and put them in a tube. So I want to be sending those to you too,
Nice.
including that North Korea sheet. So
Nice.
yeah, so I'm hoping the North Korea sheet sells that fun. So if you guys are interested, uh, that I can't sell it on Whatnot, but that North Korea sheet, I think there might be two in the United States. Uh, me and uh, me and another dealer have one.
Um. So
Is there a number?
Chris has 3 coins he bought on 12/5 that did not show up on a packing slip. It had 7 other coins. Money was pulled out of my cake account. Is there a number to contact? Whatnot? I think you just do it through the app on that specific order.
Yeah.
I mean, I would contact the dealer directly first. Okay,
That's what I would
yeah.
do first. Have
Or
you?
if you've already contacted Whatnot, either way. But I would contact the dealer because they may have just. I've had it happen. It sometimes we're humans, we mess up. New to the hobby, is there a simple answer to why or why not mules are more or less valuable? No, it's net 5 of 5 4 6. It's never a dumb question. Mules tend to be more valuable because they're again, it goes back to the rarity of them, right? There's not that many mules out there. There's less mules than, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, vehicle, but there are almost less mules than star nodes.
Yeah, and so in general, even if it says less in the book, auction comps on mule notes are more money. I that's what I found. So when you go to look up a mule note, like a $10 1934A mule in the book, it'll say the mule version is worth less than the actual version, right? But what I have found when you're looking up auction comps is that the mule version sells for more money than the actual version. Does that make sense, y'all?
Yeah. Why did they block Nazi currency and coins from a government that doesn't exist anymore? Well, because it. Uh, I mean,
It's what they represented.
yeah, I was gonna say it's
From
my
what Whatnot
theory.
has explained to me, because I've had my hand slapped a couple times. It's what they represented during the time they represented hate. So it's like, so if I sell you guys a Nazi note or a Nazi memorabilia, I understand what Michael's saying, but they're saying that I'm promoting what the Nazis stood for, which isn't true. I'm just saying, hey, this is what happened historically. These things are collectible, and this is what I want to sell it for, right?
Yep.
But as far like so, me and Jaycock have told one now, like, so we allow us to sell Confederate notes, which historically stood for slavery, right? And but we're not able to sell Nazi notes. It doesn't upper Korea, yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
But this would be a huge purchase. It's probably um $1,000 sheet. It's a sheet of notes.
Yeah. So Timbry has a good question. If a collector is going to sell his collection, it contains numismatic, US, foreign, bullion, and currencies. It better to go to 3 different dealers or one. I would say shop around, get the best deal you can. I don't necessarily. I would take the whole. I don't know. This is me, and vehicle can chime in too. I would take the whole collection to 3 different people and see which one's going to give you the better price.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I would agree because there. So for me, Tim, like you got some stuff in your collection that I can't sell it to save a life, you know what I mean? But so for me, I would be able to sell all your paper at a really good price, right? So I'd be able to pay you a little bit more than a coin dealer would pay you, but the coin dealer would be able to pay you more on the gold and silver than I can pay, right?
yep,
Does that make sense? Yeah. I've always told people when I'm buying stuff from you guys because I've drove out of state to buy stuff from y'all.
you're welcome.
I've met people to deliver collections. So I always say like, look, I'm your best possible bet to sell your currency because if you go to the local coin shop, they're gonna try to tell you that your $2 red seal is worth 4 or 5
$2.
bucks,
Yeah.
or $2. I've heard that too. And I like me, I'm gonna pay you way more than that for your $2 red seal.
And yeah, Cajun pepper, as far as the North Koreas and the Cubans, it's due to the embargo. So they don't want North Korea or Cuba to profit off it, which is kind of funny because I think you can still sell Russian notes. But you never know. It might be a matter of time before you can't sell the Russian notes.
I bet you that's right around the corner.
Yeah.
You know, if we go to war with Russia, you
What's
won't
up,
be
T
able to sell the
Rex?
Russian notes.
Right.
You know what I mean? Uh, which we're in a proxy war, but it's not an actual war yet. We're still communicating with Russia. We're still trying to make peace. You know what I mean? But like, it could turn to hell in a handbasket in a week. You just don't know.
Right.
Same thing goes with China too. Chinese notes might become unable to sell on eBay or whatnot. You know,
Yeah. You just don't know sometimes. Politics is part of the fun.
Because I believe when I first started on here, you guys, you could sell Cuba. You could sell Cuba, and now you can't sell Cuba. You know what I mean? So, um, yeah, I always find South Florida notes for whatever reason. I'm able to find the South Florida notes and sell those, but Cuban notes, yeah, no, not Cuban notes.
Right. Oh, again, good questions. Here, I'm gonna start one more Gibby. One more Gibby. Get y'all fired up. Keep asking away, y'all. This is fun. We're having a ball.
Yeah. You guys, I do have a stream following the educational show that we'll raid into. Um, and I think I might have it set up for free shipping. I'm double checking now.
Yeah. South Florida notes, it's what we call Cubans. It's kind of a joke. Star note versus solid star. Yeah, solid stars are older. That's not a solid star, but it's a filled in star. Let me see if I have one. I know I have a freaking solid star running around in this pigsty of a colored desk.
Dang. Because I built this show last night, y'all. I built the show
Oh
last night. It only has 6 bookmarks. I
my God, you actually used your face?
use my face.
Did the camera break? Oh, just kidding.
Yeah. No,
Nothing. I'm only teasing.
I AI'd it. So it didn't break.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude, you're a
AI
trip.
did it.
Oh, man. Trying not to knock over all my stuff, man.
There it is, y'all. Yeah. Look at that. Free shipping, you guys. Go bookmark that show right now. Go bookmark the show.
Oh, I think it's in here.
Yeah, we need to heavily get that one bookmarked, y'all. Because if I'm doing free shipping, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, there's a solid star, which is kind of funny because the 1922, this is a 1934, and it's got a solid star.
Yeah.
So, oh, you got 7 bookmarks now.
7 bookmarks. Let's see. See if they're listening. Oh shit. Look at that. 11 bookmarks, you guys. Let's go. Let's go. Free shipping on that, y'all. Free shipping.
Yeah, normally I'd run a show afterwards, but dang, man, Fezzy got tired. He stayed up way too late and has got to go to work way too early.
Well, I got to go pick up a shipment tomorrow. So I told you guys I bought 200 uncirculated stars, right? Yeah. Check this out, y'all. Hang on just a second. It's wild.
Man, notes are too much fun. I've been doing more and more research. One of the, just kind of I'm kind of expanding from the. I'll let him show. Picked up some of these. These are freaking cool. I mean,
so
it's funny. It's not just currency. Even play
so
money is awesome.
these are going to be like the 1957, 57A, 57Bs from here forward. I marked it with the gold foil now. And then from here back is going to be the 1935 E's. And they all look like that, y'all.
Man, those are gorgeous.
We
Yeah,
can
they
go through
are.
some fancies tonight. We can go BRYB. We can go through some fancies tonight.
Do you have any Iraqi dinar there, vehicle?
I do have Iraqi dinar somewhere. Where is it? I thought I'd just seen some. Um,
Yeah, comics would be cool. No, it was funny, man. These play monies. I got into the history of them, and here's a cool one too.
there you guys go. That's a pretty cool note. Iraqi dinar. This is going to be um, Gulf War, I believe. Gulf War era. It's pretty cool, huh? Oh, this is even cooler. I guess I didn't even realize this. I read very little Arabic, you guys, but from what I can tell, sequential.
Google Translate. It's your friend. Congratulations on that giving, Max Powers.
Check that out. Isn't that cool?
Yes,
Google
Google
Lens.
Lens.
Well, I mean, I read enough of the numbers to be able to tell that most of them are sequential. So
Here you go, vehicle. Look what Fezzy got today.
look at that. You don't ever see those anymore.
Their fronts and backs too.
Wow, they're so little.
I know, compared to the other ones. Ugh.
$30 million insurance policy on his comic book collection. My goodness. Those
So
are
these
those
are
are
Lucky
yeah, go
Bucks.
ahead.
Yeah, they're lucky bucks. They were given out in Saturday comics. So, like for instance, this one is from the Denver Post, which near and dear to my heart. Grew up in Colorado. So they were part of the Saturday comic book in the 30s and 40s, and kids would think about them as like cheap baseball cards, early Pokemon cards. People would cut them out and then trade them, and low denominations are common. The higher denominations up to 100, or they get rarer and rarer. Um, these ones I gotta do a little bit more research on the story, but it's similar but different because they got a front and a back to them. These ones I've seen go graded for what? Oh my goodness! I think you've had them before, haven't you? Vehicle?
Yeah, yeah, like $350 a piece,
Yeah.
depending on the condition.
So yeah, they're fun. I found a couple lots of them and picked them up, and they're gonna slab up, and I'm gonna sell them on Friday. So bookmark my Friday show.
And make sure you guys get in and bookmark those shows, y'all. Let's see here. Yeah, that work. Save that.
I'm just again, I'm an art nerd. I mean, that's why I carry these. I love them. I love the artistry. It's funny because that's why it's called Fezzy's Nerdvana, right? Because I collect. I mean, my God, if I showed you guys my room, I got Legos everywhere. I collect coins. I have, you can see the hockey pucks back there. You know, I'm a big fan of the artistry of the notes, artistry in general. It's just all cool. Coins. I like the artistry on the coins. This whole hobby is fun to me. Oh,
Isn't it?
oh, I'm sure he did, Michael. I mean, I've heard of people like insurance stuff like that for stupid money too. No, I wish I did, man. I collected that. That is my youth right there, Michael Tay. Oh my goodness. We used to, when I was in grade school, I remember we actually got banned in elementary school from having them because our teachers thought they were gross and disgusting. I'm looking back on those days, wishing I would have kept them, especially like the first edition ones. Those were
Eh,
fun cards.
Um,
I might need to get my hands on some. I bet they go for stupid money now. Hey, Michael, do you know why they quit making Garbage Pail Kid cards? So, Cabbage Patch dolls were big at the same time as Garbage Pail Kids, and I think what happened was is whoever owned Cabbage Patch sued whoever owned Garbage Pail and won on the condition that they only had X. I think they went up to like I can't remember what series number it was, but they had to stop at a certain series, and then after that they couldn't make them anymore. So that's why they like were out there for the longest time, and then just suddenly went away because they were told they couldn't make them.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I remember reading that story. I know it was a big thing because because they're modeled after the Cabbage Patch dolls, and they got ticked. Which mockery is the sincerest form of flattery, or whatever the heck that saying is. I mean, but
Yeah,
yeah, so it's like it's funny we talk about artwork. I mean, let's I mean, heck, even the checks back in the day. I mean, check those out. I mean, even the checks were freaking awesome looking. No, I'm a huge fan of history too. So I mean, I love stuff like this. You get the history behind it. 1865. Thinking about what I'm holding in my hand. Oh yeah, man, they were great. Oh, where's my favorite piece? My favorite piece is now here. Did I put it away? I did. I have a couple of notes from the 1700s. Oh, here it is. So this is what I love about these. I mean, the dates. I think this one is from 1787. I mean, the country was still new, and this. I mean, mm, just again, big time history guy. Comptroller's office, £1. From 1790. I mean, holding something in your hand that is almost as old as the country. I have something around here from the 18 or from 1767 before the country even existed. So it's funny, I'm a World War II buff and anything history.
Sorry, guys. I'm trying to set up the show for later so I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, Cowboy asked it. Didn't you have one of those that was sold together from the 1700s? I mean, even stuff like this too. An actual short snorter roll. I mean, look at that bad boy. Different notes from all the different places that this person visited, taped together. One of them is actually written on. There's an Australia note in here. There's a couple of victory notes. Oh yeah, colonials are really cool. Yep, goldbacks are definitely becoming popular. I love me the goldbacks. Colorado's coming out in
Goldbacks are up
2026.
over 500% this year on Whatnot, you guys.
Yep.
Goldbacks are up over 500% on Whatnot. And you guys, there's a ton of goldbacks out there, you guys. Some like if you get some older ones that they have extremely low mintages. So I'm telling you guys, just keep stacking those goldbacks. Somebody's gonna throw one of those really rare ones in, and man, it's gonna be a stupid amount of money for y'all.
Look
Yeah,
for the
I think I sold.
alphas.
Yeah, I sold a $1 gold back that had a 12,000. No, it must have been a $5 gold back. It had a 12,000 mintage on it, and I sold it for like $125, you guys. So gold backs are they're a good hedge against inflation, I think. If you're stacking, because it's cheap enough to stack, right?
Yeah, the goldbacks are. I mean, goldbacks are here. I'll show you some. I got a few. Um, that's a good question, vehicle. Where do you find the mintage numbers for them?
Where do you find
I
what?
Is there a place where you can find the mintage number on the goldbacks?
Um,
I'll have to look. That's a good question. I'm going to write that one down, Timbri, and ask.
Back actually has mintage, but man, it wouldn't be a bad idea to start making a book now that they've been out for a while. One of us needs to get together and make a book that has the
Right.
mintage numbers, the retail value, the because I
Oh
mean,
shit.
each one's going to have a retail value, and they're
There's a
going to have a
damage
retail
indicator.
value if they're graded too.
Well, what
You
they
know,
do on the front here, I'll show you. Oh, so they're so they have a serial number, kind of like on American currency. I mean, I don't know what order they because they do make them in sheets too. But what you want to look for is this alpha designation. Like right now, the Arizonas are all going to be alpha, and they're only going to be alpha for a short amount of time. The reason I know that, let me find it. I can show you. I believe I have it in the stack of Floridas.
and the
Oh,
alpha
maybe not.
ones, the alpha ones end up selling for crazy money.
Yeah,
When you
like
get alphas, they definitely sell for crazy money.
Yeah, like the Floridas, they came out. They were in alpha for a while. They just came out of alpha, and the design's slightly different. Not the design on the front, but the border. Oklahoma is out now. They'll probably get out of alpha at some point in the near future.
Well,
But
they finally ran out of most of the Florida alphas, especially like the smaller denominations. They're out of those.
yeah, no, I was going to say Florida should be out by now. Here you go. It was the twos. This is a good example.
Now you may be able to still find some of the bigger denominations, as far as the alpha series goes, but
So I'll show you, Hank, right there. The reason we call it an alpha designation is because there's a little alpha in front of the date. On the non-alpha, you just have the date.
yeah.
So here is a non-alpha 2, same picture, different border, a little bit lighter of a border. And here is a alpha 2, darker border. Dooley wants me to run one. I'll run one. I do have some. Give me just a second and I will definitely run one. So let me run I'll run. I have an air. Which one do you want? Arizona? Here, I'll run.
I
I'll
think
run
you
an.
run that badass too.
Want me to
Right?
run a 2? I can run a 2. I'll run an alpha 2. Let me give me a second. I want to get. Oh, I got him right here. Woo! Fezzy's actually thinking for a change. Oh, kind of thinking. My brain's half working. There you go. Let me get my stickers.
You want me to back out so they can see it real quick while you're
No, I can do. I can do both. I'll show it.
okay.
I'm going to buck and go. I'm going to set the timer down to 20 seconds with no, not sudden death. Starting. So here's an alpha. This is a Florida 2 alpha. I guess it has.
Oh,
Why didn't it start?
it's a Florida 2 alpha. You can't
Yeah.
even buy these anymore, you guys. You can't even buy these anymore. So
I'm
me
not
as a
sure.
dealer, I can't call go back and say send me your $2 alphas from Florida because they're gonna laugh at me, right?
Oh my goodness. It's not letting me start. Hold on. What's going on? Start. Start. Oh, give me just a second, y'all.
It's weird.
Yeah, it is. I have to run it from my phone. I haven't done that in a while. There we go. Now it's running. Woo! You got a 2, Florida Goldback. It is an alpha. This is, like he just said, you cannot get the alphas anymore. They are not available. I do have some. There's the back. Here's the front. Again, you got the alpha designator right there. You got the serial number right there.
And it's real gold.
AG6. And it is
And
1/500th of an ounce of real gold. And it's really cool. The
chat.
way they do it is they sandwich it between 2 sheets of polymer. Very cool process. Of course, it's
For an
also
alpha, this is cheap, you guys. For an alpha Florida, this is cheap because you can't find a streamer with them anymore.
right.
But Fezzy's, he's definitely holding it down on the stacking part, y'all.
Oh yeah.
Holy smoke!
Hank, good pickup. Very good pickup. That'll go out tomorrow with the with hope. Well, should go out tomorrow with Gibbies. Top US currency. How you doing? Yeah. So here, I'll show you some more alphas, and some of these are actually a little bit rare. And it's funny because I think if I remember right, vehicle, I had to teach you about alphas.
Yeah, yeah.
There's one.
I didn't know. I was like, it's a goldback, Fezzy. He said, no, it's an alpha.
Yeah. So like Wyoming came out running Arizona. I'll run one next. Here's a Wyoming Goldback Alpha from 2022. I guarantee you this bad boy is
That one looks like the one dang, that one's probably rare,
it
Fezzy.
is. This is the one I got from you. This is the personal collection one. This is part of my stack.
Oh shit.
So that one will not. I do not sell. I have. As a matter of fact, I got some of these in my own personal stack. I
I'm
have
doing
some to
well, Amir.
sell.
Doing well, buddy. Are you
Someone
coming to
wanted.
fun with us? You're coming to fun, right?
Here you go. Here's an Arizona one. We're gonna run this one. Let's see if my computer will let me do it now. Nope. Bastard. Run next. There you go. Dollar and go. It's an Arizona Goldback. It is an alpha. You can see the alpha designation right there. It is a double A block. Double A is one of the first blocks, 87014. It says on there too, not U.S. legal tender. It is voluntary, what is it, negotiable instrument. So
Check. Go, go,
very
go.
cool.
It's
Get
an
in there,
alpha, isn't
y'all.
it?
It is an alpha. There's the alpha designation right there.
Oh,
Arizona's are definitely one of the newer ones, but the alpha designation will probably go away in 2026. When they start making them in 2026, they will not have the alpha designation on them. Hank's in.
well, they
Let's,
only do the alphas for the first year, but it's a limited run on the first year.
yeah, like I said, I just showed you the Florida two. One of them was an alpha, one of them was not. Hank, good pickup. Um, and yeah, they do it for a limited run. The other cool thing, I showed this one off earlier. This one actually comes at a premium, but the premium also comes with rarity. Um, yeah, here's an Oklahoma Goldback limited early release and a 70 star. They only did, what was it? 4,000. And this is something I like that they did, and I can't wait for the Colorado one. They did a $3 denomination or a 3 Goldback denomination. I think they did ones originally and they switched it to 3. So half of these go to I'm thinking half of them go to specific dealers and the other half go to the general public. Very cool stuff. Yeah, Goldbacks. It's an easy way to. So these do come in a premium. Let's be real here. Some people, I've heard people talk about that in some streams. They come in a bit of a higher premium. So a 100 Goldback, if I remember right, is a is 1/10 ounce of gold. Yeah, it's 1/10 ounce of of gold, and it's double what a you can buy a coin for. A lot of that has to do with the artistry of the note, the rarity of the note, and the process. So the way they do these is like I said, it's so think about it. You know how a gold foil has gold on top, and there's like a you might not know this. There's like a plastic in between. This is the other way around. There's a polymer sheet. They vapor deposit the gold onto the sheet. They put the image on there, and then they put another layer of polymer on the top. So I think at one of our shows, I think it was last week, we actually weighed one, and it comes out very close to that 1/1000th of an ounce. It's a little bit over, but that's because of the polymer sheet. And some of this, I'm assuming it's ink. I don't know for sure. Again, they keep their how they do these proprietary. Oh, speaking of which, so if you like goldbacks, silverbacks are also becoming popular, and they just announced a new silverback series. So they're going to do another silverback dragon, and they're starting off with a 5 series set. The first silverback is going to be Hades. And dude, look it up. The artwork on it is phenomenal. I mean, it's got a 3-headed dog, and you just got to see him. I mean, you see how the artwork is on this, right? I mean, it's gorgeous. The Hades one is just, I mean, it just screams at you. Yeah, I'll run another one. I'll run one more. Let me get it in a nice little case, and we will dollar and go it.
Hang on just a second here.
Oh, that's in Oklahoma. Let me get the Arizona. There it is.
So here's that silverback, y'all.
Oh
It's
yeah.
coming out. Here, let's see what it says. That is so cool.
I mean, look at that design.
Yeah, that is very cool. Here's a picture.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they hinted. I mean, they kind of hinted in that picture because check this out. That's another feature I didn't show you guys. So you can kind of see it. You see how you have the one and the AU on there. This is a new feature. It's not on all the earlier ones, but they started adding this UV ink. So I'm really hoping that when you do this to the front of that Hades, that those like lightning bolts and stuff light up. But anyway, let's run this one. Dollar and Go. It's an Arizona Goldback. It is an Alpha 2025 edition. It is another AA block 68327. There's the back of it. Very nice looking back. And there's the front. I mean, you got the maiden on there. Each one of these, what is this? Temperance. This is Temperance. So that's the cool thing about it too. Each piece of artwork represents that state and a little bit about that state. So it gives like it's almost like a history of the state wrapped up into this gold back. Now I'll show you the Oklahoma, the Florida, and a Utah one next. You get the idea. Each one of these has like a little meaning behind it. You got the cactus, you got the bird, you got the big cactus in the back, got a turtle. I don't know what that is. Is that a pig? Very cool. Very nice notes. They're negotiable instruments. You can go to Arizona. They do have people out there that are goldback that will take goldbacks. There is an exchange rate for them. It is used as some form of currency. Big Dusty, congratulations. That was auction 3. Here, let's I do have 150. Here, we'll go through some of the denominations. I got, like I said, I got really big into these, and I'm stacking them personally, and I'm also selling them. Let's see. There's the Arizona. I mean, here's go through some of the designs real quick for you. I mean, there's a Florida 10. I mean, you
The
got
Florida
the
10 is fire.
yeah, you got the 20s lady on it. I mean, the
Roaring
Florida 5
20s.
is also pretty badass too.
The Florida 5 is probably my favorite Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's
And
hot.
then yeah, and then you got the Wyoming. I mean, you got Reverence, you have the bison, that's what Wyoming's known for. You got Devil's oh my gosh, Devil's Tower in the background, Native Americans. I mean, and you saw the Arizona. Here's the South Dakota. I mean, you got a bison with the South Dakota. You got the Indian history. You got the wolf. You got the Black Hills in the background. The fire dancer. It's just. I mean, they do so good with these. I mean, the Native American history for Oklahoma. That's nice. You know, Arizona. What else? I got Utah in here somewhere. Course, yes, you got the Dallas Fort Worth. Here's the Dallas Fort Worth. Texas will be coming out with one, and from what I hear, it's not gonna. This is like a teaser.
It's like
This
a
is a
teaser
teaser
one.
note for them. Yeah, I think they're actually Texas is going to be on the list at some point in the near future. I'm hoping for next year, but we'll see. I have a Utah and a New Hampshire in here somewhere. I got to find those because, like I said, all the artwork is just freaking phenomenal. I mean, here you go. Here's a South Dakota 5 Alpha in 2023 industry. You got the farming, you got the maiden in the field picking the corn, you got the sunflowers. Oh man, I cannot wait to see what they're going to do for Colorado. I mean, yeah, every single one of them has a little something different. Yeah, let me
You
find a New
figure
Hampshire.
will you buy a whole Colorado set?
Oh hell yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah, I'll
think
buy it up to
when
the
when
100.
Michigan comes out, because I think they'll probably end up doing it in all states, you guys. Eventually, it'll be all
Yeah,
states.
I think that's their goal. I mean, here's a Utah. This is the one that started it all. This, I mean, it's not an alpha. The alphas were in 2018, I believe. Utah was the first state to do it, and that's actually
That looks
where
very cool.
Goldback is based, is Utah.
It's 2022 Utah.
You got Wyoming. Here's Nevada, Sophia. I mean, a little history of Nevada in there. Like I keep saying, this is what our notes should be, in my opinion. Here's a New Hampshire with the covered bridges. You got the covered bridges and Veritas on there. So I'm glad to see that some of the eastern states are participating. It's not just all the western ones. I think there's 11
Look at
states
this.
total.
So, and it's not a bad idea. They do catch a premium once they're graded. If as long as they come back 70 ppq. Look at this. Look at that. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
100 basically $110 with shipping, you guys. Wow. Wowzers.
So I would think about goldbacks in the same term as bullion, right? I mean, you're collecting, not only are you collecting the gold value, but you're also collecting the artwork as well, right? It's the same with coins. When you're collecting certain coins, you're collecting what's stamped on the coin also. The
Yeah.
prettier the design, the cooler the coin. Like, I mean, here's a, speaking of coins, I just happen to have this one lying here. I mean, here's a, let's see if I can pull it out real quick. Here's a, what? Got a Andretti silver, Marco Andretti. You know, pretty cool little coin in a little holder. You know, ounce of silver along with a piece of his uniform. I thought it was neat. I'm not really a race fan, but I was like, yeah, I like it. Yeah, Marco.
Is it
Game
pretty
or
expensive?
I can't remember. I paid up for it. I think I paid almost double um spot at the time. I think that was at
Right.
$45. So it was up there. Is he really? That's freaking sweet. You want it? I'll sell it. Nice. No, gold backs, silver backs. I mean, 24 karat gold, inflation resistant. I mean, I got a pamphlet from them for my last purchase. Look up local businesses, use gold backs at the register, use the gold back calculator, complete your purchase. You know, so the goal, can I run that 5 Florida? Yeah, I'll run one. Let me dig it out and put it in a holder and then I'll run it. Now it's a 5, y'all. Let me get it. Give me just a second. There we go. I want to make sure I got an alpha one. Yeah, the 5 is freaking, I like the 5. Woo! Slip one out. Put it aside. Here you go, y'all. I'm gonna dollar and go it too. I'll run this one. We'll answer your question, cowboy. Dollar and go. It's a 5, y'all. It's an alpha 5. It's got the nice serial number on there, 60189. I think it's 189. But look at that. Look at the ship in the background. You got the pirate wench checking out Florida. I mean, just again, I can't say enough about the artwork on these. It is 1/200th of a troy ounce of pure gold.
We're cheap. It's an alpha.
Yeah, it's an
Cheap.
alpha, y'all.
Holy smoke.
So exchangeable by Goldback Inc. in U.S. gold coin to the bearer on demand. Man, was that on all of them? I think we noticed that last time. But yeah, this
Like
is true gold.
they're selling for like $67.
Yeah, they're
Six.
nice
Oh
bills,
my
y'all.
goodness.
Big Dusty's in. Big Dusty, great pickup. Congratulations. That is auction number 4. And I tell you what, I will definitely I might be running some more on my Friday show.
The
I might
regular
break
ones
these
seem to be
out.
selling for considerable less money. Like so the non-alphas, considerably less money. But man, Big Dusty got a hell of a pickup on that one.
Yeah, you did.
My goodness.
There was something. Oh, wait, we had a question. When purchasing a graded note, how much does a comment affect the value of that note? Yeah, it was
Yeah, I was
Big
gonna
Dusty. I made sure of that.
here, let me go check the question. Purchasing a grade note. How much does a comment affect the value of the note? It depends on how rare the note is. I think it really depends on how rare the note is. But um, I think for me, a a graded note with a comment is better than a raw note with in the same grade, right? So it still should command a premium. Um, but I would say that I would say like if a like let's say a 30 is selling for $150 and a 30 with comment probably should sell for like $135. Probably should affect it, less than 10%, you know. Depends on how bad the comment is too, because severed and reattached is kind of, it's gonna affect it a little more.
Oh my
If it's
God, I'm glad to.
minor pencil, or in some cases, full teller stamps will bring a better premium um than your actual. You know what I'm talking about? Like if it had a full teller stamp and it actually had like the bank's name, that could command a bigger premium to the right collector.
Right. I'd run it for 2,000, Maddox.
Minor stain or rust is going to be, in my opinion, it's probably going to be like in that like 5 to 10% range. Affect the value. You know, but I'll say this much: when I'm buying notes from wholesalers, and Fezzy can say the same, we have a certain amount of money what we pay for the notes, and whether the note, as long as it's a minor comment, we pay the same amount if it's comment free or if it's a minor comment, right?
Right.
Major comments are different, but like a minor comment, like minor rust, or you know, uh, a small annotation, it doesn't really affect how much we pay as dealers.
Yeah, here's another one that floats around too. Cook Islands. There are other gold back. They're not gold backs per se, but I want to say this. Yeah, the same company Arium makes them.
Yeah,
So
I
they
got I got it.
yeah, that one's made by Arium too, I believe.
Yeah. This is actual grandma gold.
Yeah,
Does that
and
below
yeah,
melt
that's.
yet?
Let's see here.
It will sell once melt gets to 235. You watch.
Like here, I'm gonna kind of do a comparison for y'all too,
The
just to.
graded one was not a state. It was not a gold back. It was a
Oh,
it,
the one I just showed.
yeah, it was actually minted by the Cook Islands, right?
Right, minted for the Cook Islands, I believe. Orium
Yeah.
Arum is the company that. Yeah, I'll show it to you here. I don't know, man. I've been looking into that
They
with the Zombucks, and I have not heard anything, not a peep.
That's another thing I'm be on the lookout at fun is for Zombucks. Oh,
Oh, the gold back.
this one up here. This one, Guitar Woman.
So here, I'm going to show you. So you see the Arium on there, that logo. So you notice on his bill, it has the same logo. That's the same company making the same stuff. So Arium makes the gold back. They also made that bison down there, and they made this Cook Islands as well. Again, they got a proprietary system on how to make these and colorize them, and they make them. They make different ones. Like this one's from 2022. Yeah, the coins were awesome. But here, check this out. Here's a 50. This is 1/20th of an ounce of gold. I mean, let's compare that to the half gold back.
Well, what state is that?
Top one is the 50 is South Dakota, and the half gold back is Oklahoma. I mean, way bigger. And I think we did weigh it, and it actually weighs 1/20th of a troy ounce, or a little bit over. Very cool stuff here. Yeah, gold backs are fun, man. If you're not stacking gold backs, stack gold backs. Get in on the new series is
Look
when
at
they
this,
come out.
Fezzy. Look at this.
Yeah.
So 2023, I believe these are alphas. Yeah, alpha goldback. Look at that.
Yep.
And he sold 17 of them, you guys.
I don't
So
believe
like,
mine was.
you know, that is, like, they're worth collecting. They're worth stacking, you guys. They're definitely worth stacking because the values on them continue to go up. And eventually, in 10 years, somebody's going to be like, you know what? I want a whole series of alpha goldbacks, whether it's Florida or Oklahoma or Colorado. And they're gonna be like, I want a whole series, 1 through 100. And I want them all to be alphas. And they're gonna sell for a premium. They're selling for a premium right now. They're definitely gonna sell for a premium then too.
And there's a 25 alpha. I got a small stack of those.
And as far as I know, you guys, like, so they trade for well over melt. So
Yeah.
you could sell them to a dealer for more than what it melts at, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's almost double melt right now. Yep. As gold
Double
goes up,
melt.
the price goes up. You know what's really funny? This is kind of a funny slash sad story. I got in early and I got one of the Wyoming ones in a 7. I got one of the Wyoming alphas and I got it for free and I gave it to my kid to play with because at the time it was only worth a couple bucks. And trust me, I am kicking myself now for letting that happen. So yeah, you talk about, you see, even Fezzy does some stupid stuff every now and then. But yeah, Big Dusty, there are 7 that are out currently. And I am not, I had a bunch and sold them and I cannot source them right now to save my life because they only
Yeah, I
made
can't I
10,000 of
can't
each.
I can't source them where I would be able to profit by selling them, even a couple dollars.
Right.
So, because let's be honest, Fezzy, we don't make a ton of money on silverbacks and goldbacks. I mean, they generally trade for about the same amount of money, regardless of what you have. So, when we buy them in bulk, we do get a discount, but maybe a dollar or two a piece is not, once fees come into play, it takes all the profit out of it.
So, Ronnie, what makes them an alpha is this little tiny A in front of the 2025. If you see a little tiny A in front of the 20 in front of the date, it's an alpha, which means it's the first run of that particular note. Um, like here is a Florida 2025 without the alpha. And let's see here. I know I have an alpha in here. And here is a 2025 with the alpha. So you can kind of see right there that little tiny A is what designates it an alpha. So if
And
you
these
ever
were,
buy these online or anything, you check for that A.
yeah,
Yes, first
and
run.
they always sell for a premium.
Yep.
I don't care if they're first coming out or if it's 5 or 6 years later. They definitely sell for a premium over what the regular ones will trade at, right?
Yep. So kind of another little interesting No, there is not. Unfortunately, there's like nothing. There's no alpha designator for that. I'm hoping that they bring that to some of this other stuff. But the thing with the Zombucks was, is they made only 10,000 of those each one. So that's
Yeah,
where their limited comes, and they're sequentially numbered.
yeah,
Um,
and
I
they're
had
very limited. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I get lucky too, right? Like I invest $100 a month with this company, and they send me $100 worth of gold backs. They base it off the average price of gold at the time, and I've actually gotten some South Dakota alphas from it. I've gotten some older, like I've gotten a Wyoming alpha from it because they don't know. It's for them, it's an investment thing. So every now and then, you can get lucky and find. I mean, I bought a set, and I got that. I bought the set basically for that, and it was I can't remember. It was like a random set, and I bought it for that Dallas Fort Worth note. Two of them in there, and got it for a really good price. So if you see someone running goldbacks, man, snag them up. Yeah, but yeah, like something like this would run in the 350 to 400 range. Again, this is because this is a number 2773 of 4,000. Only 4,000 of these were made. 2,000 of these were given to um, dealers, and the other 2,000 they released it to the public. It's a limited edition early release. So funny thing is, I don't think this has the alpha. It doesn't have an alpha designation, but again, it's because it's a limited number, a limited run. So that's how you know it's a limited run, is if it has the alpha in front of it, because they do serialize all of them.
man, it would like. And I was just thinking about it, like because they have all the technology to make this. I mean, you would never end up with an issue with counterfeiting. I don't think. I mean, I
No, and
just
again, let me get one
the newer ones have the
here. Do it the right way. This is new. This was new in early 2025. So it reflects with the black light, and I can't remember. I'm going to look because I want to say they started with the Florida ones, because I have, like, here, I'll show you with the Wyoming and the South Dakotas. Oh, if I don't drop everything, get in that give y'all. So see, this one doesn't have it. You don't see the 5. Let's see. This one is the South Dakota. I don't think it was on the South Dakota either. Nope. I want to say it started in. I don't even think this one has it either. No, that's kind of funny. So here's the Dallas Fort Worth, and it does not have that. But the newer versions do. Man, yeah, I can't remember which version it started with. I have to go back and look. Oh, geez, dropping stuff. Yeah, taking the Florida 2. It's a black light. It's just I think I picked it up on Amazon for next to nothing. Apparently, one of my stickers got on it. So some of the I think the Geiger coins actually do blacklight too. And there's another one out there that does it too. You can use a blacklight on the coin, and if it reflects, it has a pattern that reflects back to you. Then, or it has a serial number you can read. It's definitely the Geigers. If you can read the serial number, then you know it's not counterfeit. Oh man, let's see what other cool stuff do we got here. Got tons of cool stuff. Any other questions, y'all? Anything else you want to discuss? I mean, I can run a few more goldbacks if you want. We can continue to talk some notes. We got about 15 minutes before vehicle show is going to start, and Fezzy's going to go to bed. I'm telling you, don't stay up till 2 in the morning and try to get your kid off to school at 6. It does not work. You were tired at work the next day. Thank God it's a holiday week and everybody. I don't know about the rest of you, man. I love this time of year for my job because like today at like 2 o'clock, you can just see it on everyone's faces. We all just checked out, right? And then we're talking like who's leaving when. Most people are starting to leave tomorrow. They'll trickle out. And then Friday, it's going to be a ghost town. And then next week for Monday and Tuesday, I'm going to be the only one in. And I'm going to be just kicking back, watching some movies, updating my to do list, getting ready for next year. I am a validation engineer. What that means, I work for a small medical device company. The way I explain it to people is I am the last line of defense to make sure that that blood bag that is pumping stuff into your veins is not going to leak, not going to have any contaminants in it. I am part of the reason why your drugs cost so much. But at the same time, I'm also a big part of the reason why you can trust any drug that you take because we make sure that the equipment runs perfectly and that you get that drug as the same drug every single time. And I have two plants that I manage the validation for. So I go back and forth between a couple of our um, my primary company and my sister company down in Apex. Yeah, I like my job. It's fun. I got good people too. We're a very small department. Like I'm the only one down in Apex, me and one other person who I have part time, and we manage all of the validation for the entire plant, which is funny. I'm actually negotiating for a bump in rank. I might be a senior manager next year. Oh man, it's funny. My you know what, Big Dusty? I actually worked for the company that made the Advil gel cap liquid caps. So yes, I did. Yeah, it's now owned by Thermo Fisher, but we made gel caps, Advil gel cap. Matter of fact, we used to it was kind of an inside joke. If we ever needed some Advil, we'd just go down and say we needed an engineering sample and we take a they look like urine cups. That's the best way I can describe it. It wasn't used for that, obviously. There were specimen cups, and we just grab a small, container full and just take them back to our desks. We also made Zyrtec too, and that was like gold. Those were like $2 a pill. So it's like I'd get a sample of that and have it at home. We never went without Zyrtec, Nyquil, Z-Quil, you name it, anything that was in gel cap form, except for the we did make a product called let's just say it had a green leafy derivative in it that was prescribed and FDA regulated, and that room had a lock and key on it, and you had to be very special to get into that room. And I was not allowed in that room, but no, it was yeah. I've worked at many different companies over the years. Um, Cancer drugs. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. It's the same crap. Off brand is identical to the name brand. Identical. The medicine comes from the same container. The only difference is the label. And I hope none of my former coworkers are on. Shut up, man. Shut up. Quit saying that.
And people were asking about fancies, so I'm kind of there.
Oh,
There
look at
was a
that one.
couple.
Number 210.
There was a couple fancy serial numbers that I have, and I just bought them, and I don't know what I did with them. So that's kind of what I'm trying to figure out where those are.
Well, that's actually a good point. Why do you think, I'm going to ask you the question, Vehicle, why do you think fancy serial numbers are so popular?
Well, because they're rare, it's just kind of like you find a serial number. Uh, it's just like finding a 1934 lime green Dallas. You know, sure there's radars out there, and sure there's other Dallases out there, but it definitely makes them more valuable, right? And another thing that drives it is the market. So, me and you both know how much dealers are paying for binary notes. They're paying, what are they paying? About 150 to 200 bucks a piece for them when they buy them in bulk, and you're talking 20 or more.
Right.
So, and me and you both have witnessed this. Okay. So, um, and as far as that goes, binary radars are going to be up there. Binary repeaters are definitely going to be up there too. It just kind of depends on what you got, you know. So, um,
No, I
you
mean,
know,
I gotta be honest with you. I'm kind of obsessed with numbers, um, which is part of the reason why I asked. Like, for instance, I got a bunch of these semi-quincentennial. I always, when I talk about them, you got the 76 there, you got the 2026 there, you got the 76 right there, you got a 76 right there. I mean, there's just 76s all over the place, which to me makes this
right,
cool.
right.
So,
Yeah, so basically the rare oddities in currency and fewer available for collection driving prices. So absolutely. And I think what are people willing to pay for them? I think that's what drives the force. What are people willing to pay? And what will the market bear? So if people only pay $5 for a radar now, they're worth, well, how much? $5.
right.
Well, uh in our cases, like, you know I don't think you could find a radar note for $5 anywhere, you know
Yeah.
unless you were the only person in the room and somebody started at $1, right?
Yep. And yes, Big Dusty, I was going to say this one I bought before my first show. This one I showed on my first show, which happened to be on my birthday, which happens to be the date that you see there. And the reason I bought it was because of this date, 6/27/75. Now I've aged myself. You know how old I am. Yep. And that's the whole reason why I got this. This will stay in my personal collection. And even though it's circulated, I'm not going to lie to you, I paid up for it because it had my birthday on it. And I thought it was cool. And again,
And
that's what
what
I thought it was worth. I thought it was worth, I think I paid double face.
and for you, it's worth more for you than it's worth for somebody else,
Right.
because it's a birthday note.
Yeah.
But that's just it. Birthday notes are going to be worth more to your birthday or your family member's birthday than they are to somebody that doesn't share that birthday, right?
Right. Well, and it's like some of the nationals too, right?
Same type of idea, I believe.
So here, I'll show you another part of my personal collection that I will not sell again. I say again because I've actually done it once and bought it back. So like here's a Norfolk, Nebraska. Um, that's where I was born. And I guess I should be careful. I'm almost giving you guys too much information about my personal life. Here's a Fort Collins, Colorado. I went to college there. I'll keep my eye out, Big Dusty. I'm always keeping my eye out. I had a Longmont, Colorado. That's where I went to high school. And then my final piece that I just picked up is a Greensboro, North Carolina one. And this is the area I currently live. I don't actually live in Greensboro. I live outside of it. But I thought, you know what? I need a little North Carolina in my life. So these ones are always going to be special to me. I do have other, you know, Nebraska, Colorados, but these three notes are going to be in my collection. They're going to be passed down to my kids, hopefully his kids. But knowing my luck, he'll probably sell them. Joe Brewer, congrats on the givey. I'm going to run one more givey and then we're going to let Vehicle get on. Yeah, that's pretty cool, Hank. I'd totally do that. There are people out there like I saw some people like so they'll advertise like postal codes too, like, oh, this is 58581. That's the postal code for whatever area. I've seen them for Colorado all over the place, like, 80524 in the serial number, and they'll, sell it that way, and they go for stupid money too. And it's funny. And now it's like if I take any money out of the bank, or if I get any cash, everyone, even my friends now do it. They hand me the bill so I can look at them and check the serial numbers. Because how many times have you? Oh yeah, speaking of, check that out. Whole set. How many times you gone to the bank and not really looked at your currency? I found so many star notes, modern star notes that way. And it's like, yep, that's coming out. That's going in the collection. I mean, again, now you have now you got web notes.
I just realized how many serial number notes I have, and I haven't been through all the Confederates yet. Oh
Yeah,
my
wasn't there one you
goodness.
sold the other day that was like 777s, and it was like, oh shit, it's 777s.
Yeah.
I still
Well,
love this one, man.
I ended up finding that one, live, so that one wasn't found live.
You're welcome. I mean, I love the fact that like they holdered this one like this, 1899 silver cert, 235 mule, inverted back, minor repairs. This is one of my favorite errors.
All right, I just got a little bit more to go through, and then I'll move over to my stream.
All right, I'll hit the Gibby. I'm gonna run one last Gibby, and we'll let him finish up, and then we will raid vehicle, and he will test your knowledge by selling you guys some cool shit. Any other questions, though? Man, yeah, we're still going with the questions. If you got a question, shoot it out there. We will answer those questions. This is fun for us. Yeah, you can co-host. You can only do it with one other person, but man, it's so much fun. And again, doing this currency talk that we do, it's so cool. And like you saw, I can even run a little bit. Vehicle can't run, but I can. Or I think vehicle could run. It's weird how that works. I don't. I'm not
Well,
100%
so
sure.
what would end up happening, Fezzy, is like if I was to run something, you'd have to run it, right? And
Yeah,
it would pay you,
yeah, that's right.
and you just send me the label. So I've kind of figured that part out. I never did it, but because it just becomes messy. You know what I mean? Becomes a
Right.
little messy.
So Casey Webb is going to his first coin show in February. You have any advice for him?
Well, which coin show are you going to, Casey? If it's a local show and a national show, those are two widely different things.
St. Louis.
St. Louis, so it's going to be a bigger show, eh?
So are you going for fun? Are you going shopping?
Are you going to invest? Because the best time to buy is now, you guys. And well, the best time to buy was yesterday, but the second best time to buy is now. Because values on things are only going up, y'all. So you want to be very, very careful by holding out, thinking you're going to get a better deal at the show. If melt goes up, another $30 frickin'. If it's
Right.
$100, I mean, would you have rather bought on here and paid a little bit of a premium, or hope that somebody at the show is willing to dump their stuff in your lap for melt? I mean, it, you know, we would have a lot more. Me and Fezzy, if that happened often, you guys, me and Fezzy would be loaded with silver. It just does not happen.
Yeah. If you're going shopping, I would recommend taking a wad of cash. Um, Cash is king. It all the and it's funny because cash is king, I think, is in here. Cash is literally king out there in the world. They definitely want to see cash. If you take a nice bundle of cash with you, you can usually get them to. You have a little bit more room to negotiate. If you don't have cash and you use a card, they're going to probably charge you the 2.9% fee.
Yep.
Yeah, they are only going up, up, up. Oh my goodness! Like I mean, even some gold. I was looking back at some of my historical purchases, and even the gold, not necessarily this one, but just a normal gold, has freaking gone up by $100 on a large 10, $100 recently, like within the past 6 months. So the values, I mean, they're going up, up, up. So, and the nice
All
thing
right.
too about your 100 red is it's very liquid. So if you need to sell it, you're going to find a buyer for it.
Yeah. So I just recently went out and remember, Fezzy, I bought that $30 or the $30 star note, that star note graded in 30
Hmm.
last night. And then I grabbed I believe I grabbed a 66A graded in 30. And so I went out today and I bought a 66 graded in 30. I don't think I want to sell it now.
Nice.
So now I have $100 reds in 66, 66 star, and 66A. And they're all
Nice.
graded 30. So I guess once I upgrade them, maybe I'll sell them. But I think I pulled out all the fancies and like I pulled out some experimentals. Didn't pull out all the experimentals, but I definitely pulled out some of them. Don't check through here. There's these
Oh,
experimentals. All
who's going to
right,
win that last gibby? Danny RIC.
Danny.
Congrats.
All right, so we're
Jay
gonna rate
Cock,
over,
the man,
but
the myth, the
I
legend.
appreciate it. I'm gonna leave the show, you guys. I'll see you guys in a bit. I really do appreciate it, y'all. I really do appreciate it. Free shipping in my show, you guys. Free shipping.
Have a 64 graded first day of issue Disney Dumbo with like 4 stamps. Like, what are this? Oh, Ray Ram, send me a picture and I'll look it up for you. Take a picture of it and I'll definitely look it up. Once vehicle gets started, we're gonna rate him. Well, you're the star, Jay. You're my star story. Anyway, sorry, I couldn't resist. Friday show. I have a Friday show coming up at 7:30. I'm gonna be. I'm calling Friday. Usually it's Fezzy's Froggy Friday. Cool. I'll be in there in just a minute. Um, Bookmark my show, and I've changed the name to. It's going to be a fire sale, so I'm going to be wheeling and dealing. So you definitely want to see my Friday show. But let's go in and go buy from vehicle, y'all. Thank you so much for attending. Appreciate you. Have a good one.